I'm here with Julie and Shawna Benson, the writers of the Batgirl and Birds of Prey, and also the more recent Green Arrow, and so many other things, the 100 and all this other stuff. Oh my gosh, wow. So I'm super excited to be here with both of you. I stalked you guys on Friday, of course, and proclaimed my undying love. So I want to ask you guys a few questions. Yes. So, one, what was it like to write Batgirl and the Birds of Prey? And was this, and what was that like versus writing Green Arrow? Like, what's that like?
Well, writing any of these characters is incredibly humbling, because they all have legacy to them, and to be able to add to their stories in a small way is just an honor. And then even to create new characters, which now will live on, and somebody else might one day read about Blackbird and decide they want to use her in some other book, which is exciting.
Or Citizen from the Green Arrow run, yeah.
So, those are things that mean a lot to us, and we knew when we were writing it that we were caretakers of these characters, and they did not belong to us, they belong to everyone. So we have to do the best job we can to tell their stories, and the stories that we feel need to be told. So.
And what was it? So when you got brought into Green Arrow, I was really happy, also surprised, because sometimes female creators can get pigeonholed, right, into just writing female characters. Yeah. So how did that come about? And then when you learned, what did you want to focus on with them, with Green Arrow, that was not maybe done before? Or
we actually had a lovely dinner with Bob Harris at DC, and we mentioned this pigeonholing to him, and it wasn't a surprise to him, but I think it was we don't think of it that way. They're just not as aware. They're pairing the creator they want with the book. Right. And we said, well, if we had an opportunity after Birds to write a male character, we'd really love to do that. We write male characters all the time on all our TV shows.
Right. You don't just write one half of the characters on any show. So.
And he said, oh, I understand. And then to his credit, he came right to us and offered us Green Arrow. So we had to jump at it at that point, because we'd put our money on the table. So now we're like, oh, we better represent. So we got a really good run out of it, and I think Ann Nesenti is the only other woman that's done a Green Arrow full run, and to be on that list means a lot to us. And we're hoping we can send that elevator back down for more women creators to come on, and no one will think of it that way anymore. If a girl has to write the girl book, or a guy could write Birds of Prey. I just want to see everybody have the equal opportunity.
Right, it makes me so happy to hear that too, because that's something I see all the time. I'm like, man, there's so many wonderful female creators that I want to see write this, and I want to see their spin on it, because this is my self-serving little part of this interview, but I love what you did with Green Arrow, and Roy Harper is one of my favorite characters, and I think you both did such a great job of exploring that relationship, and you wrote him so well, and so many creators with side characters like that don't do them service or don't do the research beforehand. And spoilers for people at home, the funeral was written beautifully. I sobbed the whole time. Thank you so much for doing my boy.
We actually cried writing it. It was really weird, because we got so into it and just wanted to put ourselves into Ollie's shoes. And this is a character we have the same love with that he does. And so how would we feel if we found out, boom, one day he's in the middle of a whole arc and his whole life has to turn in one moment? And to have Superman be the one to tell him was pretty cool.
That was such a good choice.
Yeah, I think that for us it was important to make sure that everyone knew that Roy mattered, and to give him his due, and to do it in a way that was impactful to, obviously, the main character of our book, Oliver Queen, because, he was his mentor figure, and he did kind of fail Roy to some degree, and I think he had to sort of come to terms with that he was not perfect, and he maybe didn't give him the recognition and the attention that he really deserved and needed. So I think being able to tell that story was really helpful to us too, to sort of understand Oliver better, not just Roy, but Oliver.
Canary, of course that's like a brother to her too, so it was a tough one. I'm glad we got to do it. I really am.
Yeah.
We took him through all the stages of grief.
The other thing that's a little tricky was sort of the continuity issues, because, Roy has changed over the years. So thankfully with Rebirth, we've been able to, both in Birds of Prey and in Green Arrow, take some elements that have come from different versions and eras of the character and sort of meld them back together so that, it makes it a little more cohesive.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I know the Green Arrow's coming to an end soon.
Yeah,
and
I think 50
done.
just came
Yeah,
out.
it just came out.
Gosh. And I know that, the both of you are working on a TV show now with Netflix.
Yes.
Woo
we
Assassins,
actually
right?
just finished it, and it will be out late summer. It's called Woo Assassins. It is a supernatural martial arts crime drama set in present-day San Francisco Chinatown. I got
Perfect.
it all.
I know that you have a really diverse cast and creative team, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We were the sort of, women in the room with us. Jess, who is our Chinese American writer. We also had Yalin. He was Yalin too. He was a Chinese writer. Is a Chinese writer. So we had Chinese Americans in the room to help us tell the story of Chinatown, so that we could get the real feel of it. John Worth ran the show. He's a legend in TV. Look him up. He's done every show you've ever seen. And it was just a great experience. So we have Iko from The Raid. He's our lead, Uwais. And he brought his entire stunt team to do all the choreography, so the martial arts are insane. And, the cast is ridiculous. So Louis Tan from Badlands, Catherine Shatterstar, yeah. Catherine Winnick from Vikings. Who do we miss? Tommy Flanagan from Sons of Anarchy, Lee Jin Lee, Celia Au, Juju Chan. Who else?
It's Lawrence Cow. There's some newer faces that people aren't familiar with, but they're all wonderful, wonderful actors. And it was a really great experience for us to, have. I know, and to have the opportunity to write characters and learn about cultures that we are not intrinsically familiar with. We did, and it was a huge responsibility to us too. And so it was great that we had Asian American writers in our room who were able to help bring the authenticity to the experiences. But most of those characters are American, so there are certain things that are sort of across the board. But there are the specific little differences between cultures, and you want to make sure you capture that. So,
One last quick question. So, what's kind of next in the works for you two? I know you can't say too much, or maybe if it's easier, what would you like to do? What would be something that you like? I want to be on this book. I want to be on this series. Or is it not a character that's established? What would be kind of something you'd like to do?
Well, I think if we do another comic, it'll probably be creator-owned, just for now, just so that we have some time to tell a whole story arc and really get that out there. And a bunch of people approached us as soon as we finished Green Arrow, but it was a little like we need to take a little break. This was such an emotional run for us, too, that I think we needed to emotionally get back in the groove of things. Plus, we were taking some time away from our TV work, so we needed to kind of get back into that. But we're up for staffing on a bunch of TV shows right now, so we'll see what we land in the next month or so. Boy, it would be great to write on all those Netflix shows are amazing. You've got Umbrella Academy, you've got the Batwoman show on CW coming out. You've got all these great genre, stuff. So we have an embarrassment of riches to choose from. We hope we get to choose, and we hope somebody chooses us. And as for comics, we've got all sorts of X-Men ideas. We want to write a Lois Lane. We want to write, just you name it. I still want to get my Psycho Pirate run in, but no one will ever buy it.
I am in. I am down for this.
Your Vandal Savage run.
Vandal Savage run.
Yeah.
We're just excited to do anything. So thank you, anyone, for reading it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you two so much. I've been so excited to meet you both. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.